Hi, my name is Michelle, and I want to thank you for coming back to my channel again, where I'm talking about my post-surgery experience in the hospital. Now, before I go on with my story, I want you to take this moment to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And I want you to turn on your notification. Like when you press the subscribe button, those are bells. Just press one of those bells so that you'll be notified when my next video is uploaded. Now, I stopped off on the previous video, and if you haven't seen the previous videos, so that you can follow along with what I'm talking about, please go back and look at the previous videos so that you'll be updated on what I'm talking about. So now, I left off where the nurse from the IC unit helped the people move me to the regular unit on the floor. So they moved me to this room, and I get into the bed, and now the nurse who came down from the IC unit with me, she left, and now I'm with the two nurses from the new floor. So I'm in and out of it, incoherent for a little while, but the young lady, the Pakistani nurse, she kept coming back in and out of my room, checking on me, and the African young lady, she kept coming in the room too. After they got me hooked up to the IV, they got me hooked up to the monitoring machine, but what I didn't know that I was doing, one of the things that they were concerned about with me is that I continued to hold my breath, and I didn't know that I was doing that. So finally, the African nurse, she asked me, she said, "Why are you holding your breath?" And I said, "Oh." She said, "Stop holding your breath and just breathe." She said, "You're going to be okay. Just breathe." And I said, "Okay." But I didn't know that I was holding my breath. But the Pakistani lady, she came back in again, and she was doing things. I don't know what she was doing, but I started chit-chatting with her, and and I think she said she was from Pakistan. I'm not sure. I just know that she was very nice, and she was very attentive, and she helped me really well. And the African young lady, she was nice, very nice, and she reminded me of my daughter-in-law. My daughter-in-law is from Nigeria, like the young lady, the African young lady who was helping me. After talking with her, that's why I found out that she was from Nigeria. So, okay, now it was time for that shift to end, and the morning shift was going to come on, and they let me know that everything was going to be fine. I was going to be fine, and the morning shift was going to take good care of me. And I'm like, okay. So now I fell back asleep, and when I woke up again, the new nurse came in the door. She was a tall black young lady. I think she was African American. She came in the room, and I'm looking at her, and she looks kind of mad. And I'm thinking, and the whole time she didn't really look at me. She looked past me, and I said to myself, I'm going to break the ice with her, and I'm going to say hi. I'm going to speak to her, and maybe she'll feel that I'm approachable. I'm somebody that she can communicate with. So I said, "Hi, how are you?" And she looked down at me. She gave me this sharp look, and she looked down at me and she said, "I'm fine." And she turned around and she finished doing what she was doing, and she walked out of the room. And I'm like, okay. Okay. So, I closed my eyes and I dozed off for a moment. And a little while later, a different nurse came in. I think she was African American also. And she came into my room, and she started, she asked me, was there anything that she can do for me? Can she help me do anything? And but she also let me know that breakfast was going to be coming up soon. I said, can you please help me go to the bathroom? I said, that's what I really love. She said, well, you can use the bedpan, or you can, or I can help you get up and go to the bathroom. I said, I don't want a bedpan. I said, if you could just help me get up and help me to the bathroom, that would be great, because I want to walk. And she said, okay. So she let the bed rail down, and she stood there for a moment close to the bed in a protective mode to make sure I didn't fall out of the bed. She stood there for a moment to see what I was going to be able to do by myself. So I reached for her hand. I said, I need you to help me because I can't do this by myself. I said, it hurts really bad. She said, well, okay, I'll get you to the bathroom. And she said, I'll tell the nurse to give you something for pain when I get you back in bed. I said, okay. So we got to the bathroom, and it was painful. The way that I was walking to the bathroom, I was taking baby steps. I couldn't walk normally because, of the pain. It was really hard. It was excruciating. So I get to the bathroom, and it was hard stooping down on the toilet because of the pain. So, she finally got me back to the bed. So she helped me get into the bed and everything. And it's like, can you please ask that nurse to bring me something for pain, because I'm hurting really bad now. So the nurse was an Oriental young lady. She brought me something for pain, and it made me groggy again. So, I was in and out of it again. So now, mind you, the older lady with the glasses who helped me to the bathroom, she came back into my room, and she said that it was time for breakfast. So she brought me my breakfast tray, and excuse me, and I ate, my breakfast. So I'm just laying there. I'm not really asleep, but I'm not really. I'm a little groggy, anyway. So she came in and she took the tray and she said, "Are you going to be discharged soon?" I said, "Oh, okay." And she walked out. And the Oriental young lady, she came in and she said, "You're going to be discharged." I said, "Oh, okay. Can you call my son?" Because the only thing that I could bring in the hospital with me was my ID and a phone number for my son to come and pick me up. So the clothes that I had on were jeans and a top that I didn't think that I knew I wasn't going to be able to put on anymore because, uh, it was, anyway, I needed something different, more loose fitting to go to fit me at the top. So the young lady said, "Well, okay, instead of calling your son, why don't I just give you two of our hospital gowns and you can put one on the front and put one on the back, and those bottles, because I have bottles that they put inside me. Well, they put tubes inside me that extends out to bottles where it catches the fluids that's being drained from my body." And I'm like, well, she said, "And I could just pin those bottles to your gown and you can leave that way." I said, "No, dear, I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to need you to do is to call my sons, and my sons know where my things are, so they'll be able to go and get what I need and bring it to me so that I can be discharged." And she called my son, and my son brought it to her. I fell asleep again, and by the time I fell asleep and woke up, my son then came and gave her the things that I needed. And the young lady was so happy because I think they had somebody else that was waiting for my room, and I was still in it. So it's like I know they wanted to hurry up and get me out of there, but okay. So the Oriental young lady and the black young lady with the older lady with the glasses on, they helped me get dressed because I couldn't get dressed by myself. It was hard for me to move my arms, and it was hard for me to put my arms through the hole of the clothes to put things on me. So they had to dress me. So both of them dressed me, and it was painful the way that I was being handled because the Oriental young lady, she wasn't really being that gentle, but it was bearable. She said that she would give me some Tylenol when they finished, because if she gave me the pain medicine, I would have to wait an hour after taking the pain medicine. And being that I was getting ready to be discharged right now, they didn't want to wait an hour. They were just going to give me the Tylenol so that I could be ready to leave the room. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. So now, mind you, they sat me on the side of the bed, and the nutritionist came in. And when the nutritionist came in, she said to me that she wanted to take my order to see what it was that I wanted for lunch. And I told the nutritionist, I said, well, they're in the process of getting ready to discharge me, so I don't think that I'm going to be eating lunch. So she said, well, just in case you're here, let me go ahead and place the order for you so that if you're still here during lunchtime, you'll be able to eat something. I said, okay. So we placed the order and she left. And I'm still sitting on the side of the bed, dressed, ready to go. And so the nurse, the older lady with the glasses, came in and she said, I can take you downstairs now, so that you can be discharged, because you're discharged right now. I said, okay. And I said, well, where's the wheelchair? She said, oh, they said you could walk, so I'm going to walk you down. I said, sweetheart, I'm not going to be able to walk. I'm not going to be able to walk all the way down there like that. I said, I can't do it. And she went out there and she told them, she said, the young lady, she said, the lady said that she needs a wheelchair, that she can't walk downstairs. So I hear the nurses, I hear nurses out there saying, well, they, in her chart, it says that she's ambulatory, and since she's ambulatory, she can walk. So the young lady, the older lady with the glasses on, she came back in my room and she said, well, it says in your chart that you're ambulatory. So since you're ambulatory, I can walk you downstairs. You don't need a wheelchair. I said, sweetheart, I'm not going to be able to make it like that. I said, I'm not going to make it. I need you to get me a wheelchair. And she went back out there and she told them again that, I said that I needed a wheelchair. So they're out there, talking loud, and they're saying, she could walk. She could walk. She don't need a wheelchair. You tell her she could walk down there and she's not getting a wheelchair. And I'm like, and I'm just sitting there. So by now, the nutritionist came back in with my tray. And, since my belongings were on top of my table, I couldn't put my tray on the table. So I told the nutritionist, I said, just go ahead and place the tray in my lap and let me eat like that. So she did. She placed the tray in my lap and I was eating. And then a side door opened. I didn't know there was a side door, but then a side door opened. And by now, this is a African nurse. She stuck her head in and she looked down at the tray, and then she looked at me and she looked back at the tray. She said, oh, you're eating. I said, yes. And she left back out. She said, and then she left back out. I'm like, okay, I'm going to ignore that too. So now, mind you, I'm still eating. And then the black lady, the nutritionist came in and she took the tray. Now, the older black lady, she came back in and said, they told me to walk you downstairs. And I'm steady saying, no, ma'am, I can't do it. Y'all gonna have to call me somebody to get me in a wheelchair. Okay. She goes back out again, and this time the black lady who came in the first time initially, she's the tall younger lady. She slung that door open and she said, you're going to walk. Now I'm running out of time right now, so I'm gonna have to stop the video right here and do a part 3. So now what I want to make you remind you is that please press the like button, share this video, and press the subscribe so that you can subscribe to this video, and you can leave a comment or just stay tuned for part 3 of this video. And I want you to hear the rest of this story, how this story went down. It was amazing. Amazing. From nurses from a hospital taking care of a patient who just came out of surgery and being discharged after lunch the next day. The treatment that I got from this day shift was like night and day. The atmosphere changed, and customer service changed, and care changed. Everything was different. So stay tuned for part 3 of this video. Thank you.